Prove your freedom.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Well, hey everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. We're here, we're rolling with it. SHTF. I think that's what we deal with here. And we do it in a satirical way. I tell you, growing up, do you remember the Boogeyman? That's right, that imaginary monster. He lived under the bed. He lived in the closet. Well, in my case, my rotten cousins used to say, the Boogeyman's real. He'll get you. You know, it was used to scare you, because it got others what they wanted, right? You better be good. You better go to sleep, little Johnny, or the Boogeyman will get you. Don't get out of bed or the Boogeyman will get you. Well, we've all grown up. And we've been reintroduced to the Boogeyman. Oh, isn't that just wunderbar, huh? Boogeyman is back. Did any of you catch it? Is everyone aware of the Boogeyman now? I remember as a kid learning the Boogeyman wasn't real. And kids, plug your ears. There was some problems with the story about Santa and the Easter Bunny too. Yeah, the Boogeyman wasn't real. So around age 14, I started learning about real bad people. Well, I think I was 13, maybe 12 in junior high school. We called it junior high back then. 7th grade, 8th grade, started learning about the Holocaust, learned about World War II and the evils of big government cooperating with corporations in Germany called fascism. We learned also about how bad communism was. Those were real boogeymen, were they not? In high school, I learned about other real boogeymen, like King George of England, King Louis of France, who was trying to starve his own people. Oh yes, King George did as well. He's tried starving Americans, beating Americans, murdering Americans, raping Americans, everything he could. Those are real boogeymen, folks. Compared to SHTF, the story of the Boogeyman under your bed kind of pales in comparison, does he not? I mean, I really do remember sitting in bed being scared of the Boogeyman at like age 6. You can't see into your bed, so anything could be there. Folks, we can see what is really out in the world. Compared to the Boogeyman versus SHTF, I tell you what, there's a big difference. Now, in the real world, though, we don't have a Hitler and a Stalin right now running around murdering people by the millions. Instead, we have, as one of our adult boogeymans, a guy, and this name was given to me. Thank you, Mr. Tim. He said, you know what? He's a little booster rooster. He's the little cock. And he's always going off half-cocked with half-cooked ideas. Our own boogeyman, Chicken Little, saying, the sky is going to die. The sky is falling. Go get your booster juice. That's our boogeyman, folks. Is he any more believable than there's a boogeyman under your bed? There's a variation of your mutation, says the booster rooster. There's a variation of a mutation. We're all going to die because there's a new variation of a mutation, right? In Washington, oh my God, now that's in 4 states, folks. Oh my gosh, they have the cold in 4 states. The unicorn variant. That's our boogeyman. You're not buying it, but it has consequences because everyone who wanted to be Peter Pan and not grow up, everyone who wanted to believe that they could be sheep and that they would be well cared for and tended as a flock. Are you prepared? Do you have food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, and means of self-defense? Do you have a plan? Because, folks, the boogeyman can go from being a nonsensical political puppet to being an absolute dictatorial tyrant. And that is what that little cock, the booster rooster, would love to do. He would love to be given real power, full power, to have mandates in place that he could enforce as he sees fit. That's a boogeyman, folks. What is another boogeyman we've had since Trump became president? Russia, 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 Russia. Russia has become another boogeyman. Now, when I was a kid, the Soviet Union, now that scared the ever-loving shit out of me. The Soviet Union with its nuclear missiles, the threat of nuclear annihilation, that was to be feared. Well, the current modern Russia does have nuclear missiles, but they're all in Russia, way far away, thankfully. Yeah, they could launch them over here, but it wouldn't work out for them so well, would it? Still, we're going to call Russia the boogeyman. It's Russia, Russia, Russia all the time. Now get this, folks. Biden came out yesterday. More Russia, Russia, Russia. Talking big. Who are you more concerned about? Are you more concerned about Putin and Russia? Or are you concerned about Gigi Biden and his administration and the bureaucracy and the Department of Justice and the Attorney General up at Washington, D.C.? Is that who you're more concerned about, or are you really concerned about Russia, Russia, Russia? I'm concerned about Washington, D.C. That's the real boogeyman. And giving the little booster rooster, the little cock, giving him full power, that's concerning. Now, understand, folks, this is incredible. Our boogeyman, the real one in D.C., is a complete moron, kind of like the booster rooster. Biden warned President of Ukraine. He warned the Ukrainian President Zelensky, quote, prepare for impact. What? Prepare for impact. A Russian invasion is virtually certain at this point. You know what is both comical and frightening about that, folks? Is that warning that Biden gave came at a time, and I don't know if it was during, just before, or right after, but Russia and Ukraine had a meeting, folks, yesterday. Russia and Ukraine had a meeting. That's Putin and Zelensky had a meeting to agree to uphold their Donbass ceasefire. And that talk, folks, did not occur at Camp David with Gigi Biden interceding. It didn't occur in a Zoom call where Biden wore his mask to make sure he didn't sneeze through the internet. It didn't occur, folks, with Biden and the United States involved. It didn't occur with NATO involved. It was Russia talking to Ukraine, agreeing to uphold the Donbass ceasefire in their negotiation. It was tough, right? But the boogeyman and the boogie got it together. Now, what is Donbass? Donbass is a city over there. That's where the problems were several years ago. All the fighting in the streets, the agents provocateurs, the secret agents, the special forces that were in there trying to create political turmoil, you know, stuff that real boogeymen do. Not going to grab you from under the bed, not going to hide in the closet and bang on stuff. These are real boogeymen out there trying to make crazy things happen. But Russia and Ukraine figured it out all by themselves, did not need Biden and the U.S. Now, I'm wondering, you know, because Biden claims, and we've heard about some strange claims in the past where Democrats claim to have had meetings, claim to have talks, claim to have solved problems. Biden claims that he warned the Ukrainian president, Zelensky, and said, prepare for impact because Russian invasion is virtually certain. Were Putin and Zelensky having a cup of tea? And did they have Biden on speakerphone while he's talking Was Biden using his big boy voice? This is Biden. Prepare for impact. Russian invasion is virtually certain. You must obey the president, Hunter Biden. I mean, were they laughing at Biden while he was warning as they sit there and talk to each other? Let's go one step further with this boogeyman nonsense. It's inane, it's insane, it's ridiculous. It is a cynical opinion of mine and satirical in expression. Folks, what have we heard from the United States government? That Russia is going to have a false flag and use that as an excuse to invade Russia. But Ukraine, folks, in Donbass, they weren't attacking Russia. They were in Donbass. They weren't in Russia. They're in Donbass. Why should Russia invade Ukraine for something Ukraine did? Russia would only invade Ukraine for something that is happening to Ukraine. Someone else is invading Ukraine. Someone else is trying to overthrow their government. What happened in Kazakhstan? The government there? Well, now there's a Russia-friendly government. Oh, I want to get into this with you. Oh, yeah. We're getting, I mean, talk about your boogeyman, folks. The United States government keeps doing things that actually gets Russia more power and control. So the U.S. is screwing around with Ukraine, and now they've come to an agreement. Russia and Ukraine are now much closer. Now, Kazakhstan, while there is an attempt to get rid of problems there, well, Russia, did Russia commit a false flag, cause problems in Kazakhstan, and then move in and say, hey, we're going to help you out, put in a government that they like, that's friendly to them? Well, what is the deal with Kazakhstan? I mean, who gives a crap? Well, Russia would love to be good buddies with Kazakhstan. Russia would love to be good buddies with Ukraine. And now they're moving that way with both countries. Kazakhstan, folks, has nuclear fuel called uranium. That's the world's single largest uranium deposit. Short of the Athabasca, which there's claims it's the North American Kazakhstan. But energy, folks, nuclear energy is clean, according to many green experts now. Experts. You know, but nuclear was the boogeyman. Now it's our good buddy. And we're going to have to use it if we want clean, carbon-free energy. Now Russia controls Kazakhstan, essentially, not because they invaded it, but because they're friends with the government. Russia is going to be friends with the Ukraine government, which has a lot to do with this pipeline, the Nord Stream pipeline that runs into Europe, into Germany. So Russia controls more nuclear fuel or has influence over it. Russia does directly control Russian oil exports, Russian gas exports, Russian energy exports, and the United States, under the Biden administration, is now buying more Russian oil. The United States is buying Russian oil to run our country. Once again, energy. Who controls the energy? Europe is having an energy crisis. They're going to make Russia into the boogeyman, folks. I mean, it already is, according to the government up there in D.C. But it seems like Biden is handing it to them. Who's the puppet? Who's the stooge? He's not a boogeyman. He's a clown. And if you think a clown can run this country, well, they can, folks. 100%. The clown in Washington, D.C. and his clown puppets with painted face Pelosi. And up chuckles Schumer. They're clowns also. They can run the country 100%. You're probably thinking, oh shit. What are you talking about there, big guy? They can run it right into the ground. And they will. They're going to run it into the ground, folks. Our energy independence that Trump was working on, done. Right? Exploration domestically seems to be done. Pipeline from Canada, done. We're getting oil now from Russia. more than ever. Nuclear energy, fuel, Russia now is in bed with Kazakhstan even tighter. Problems in that sector, folks. Uranium prices should skyrocket. But we have to have nuclear in order to meet our baseload necessities. It's going to be a screw job, folks. In Europe, energy prices rising dramatically. Right? Whether they stick with nuclear or go with more oil and natural gas out of Russia, either way, the price is going sky high. Wow, what the hell? The boogeyman, folks. You want the boogeyman? We've got some kind of a boogeyman wearing clown paint, though. It is the Biden administration. They're tearing down America. Obama, right, is a clown of sorts also. He was a puppet, a clown. Right? Obama, Bozo was a clown, Obama the clown. Those names are pretty darn close. He said he wanted to fundamentally change America. Well, that bozo did, folks. That boogeyman of a president has fundamentally changed this country. And Biden is continuing in this long line of moves to push our country into destruction and a great reset. Oh, yeah. The real boogeyman, folks, is Klaus Schwab, the New World Order, the Illuminati. That is a organization of boogeymen doing all they can, using their power. I recommend being prepared. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and a plan. Get prepared, folks. They're doing it. They're executing their plan. We need to be prepared and then prep to action. Don't do anything dangerous. Don't do anything harmful. Don't hurt anyone. Don't break the law, right? But be prepared and then take action politically. You guys be cool. Semper Fi. And Godspeed.